Hey, it's Elisa, Half Asian Tarot Queen, and doing another reading. It's the last week of the free giveaway, so basically at the end of the week I'm going to do a reading or a drawing out of the hat and pick one more subscriber that's going to win a free reading. So there's still a chance to win. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and you get entered, as long as your privacy settings allow me to be aware of your subscribership. And that's all it takes. So we've been on an interesting tear lately, because obviously there's a big shakeup happening down in the cosmos because of the coronavirus, and I think a lot of people are kind of doing this evaluation right now about their life, because we're all kind of having to recalibrate how we're connected to the world, and it's maybe not necessarily what we were planning in this moment, but that's what's happening, and it's big. But at the same time, when everybody does this at once, there's a lot of opportunity to change things up. So it's the readings have been really connected to that a lot. So okay, I'm going to pull 2 cards from Mystical Shaman, and then I'm going to pull 1 from the Spirit Animal. That one really wanted to come out. Okay. Alright, well, we had some extra ones. We had some extra ones come out, so I guess we're going to go with that. And then Spirit Animal. This deck is really cool, and it's been helping me to have, more of an awareness of the, world around me. In general, I feel like that's been happening, but I think this is helping me to tune into the animal realm, I guess. Oh my gosh, that one came out. One came out like a couple days ago, so I'll have to link that one. But we got the Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. So this one just came out a couple days ago, and it came out again. And I think this is a good reminder, because we're all going through this flux, and it's really unsettling. And so it's really easy to get locked down in the fear, and there's not enough, and what am I gonna do? And I need a job, and this is just to remind you that don't shut down. There's opportunities all around, so stay open to them, because you got to. Okay, so then we have the Moon, the Circle, and the Ancient Ones. So this is really interesting, because the Moon this kind of talks about, the cycles of life, and, specifically about the cycles of the moon, and how there's this natural rhythm in the world around us that we have to have reverence for, because we're part of that world, but we don't control it, and so it's if you can be in alignment with this rhythm, it can help you, and it's you don't want to swim upstream, so it's important to have reverence for this, because we're not in control of everything, we can be in control of ourselves, but outside of that, I think a lot of people are recognizing there's a lot we don't have control over right now, and then we have the Circle, and this kind of speaks to the community, and how we're connected to it, and we're all part of this larger matrix, you know, like this community around us. So that's really interesting, because this is like all speaking to like this sort of like holistic connection. And then we have the ancient one, which speaks to our ancestors and our connection to our ancestors and how they're guiding us, you know, through all of this. And like they're part of this community also, you know. And so like I think, you know, this is speaking to like having reverence for, you know, that we don't have control. We're part of this other cycle, and like we kind of have to surrender to it, because, you know, it's bigger than us, you know. But at the same time, like there's resources all around us. Like we're part of this larger community, and, you know, our ancestors are guiding us through this moment, you know. So it's just like reminding us, like, the answers are all around you, or the answers are blowing in the wind, you know. But don't shut down and like lock yourself up, because you know, we have to stay connected, you know, and recognize that we're we're not in control, but we are part of this beautiful network of support around us, and like that's how we're going to get through this. So that's really interesting. I'm going to pull from Ethereal Visions to get some overall energies for the reading, because yeah, it's like it's when it's unsettling, it's like you want there to be an answer, you know. And it's like it's sort of like bigger than that. Like we're gonna have to like stay connected to the flow and what's around us, but like we do have the resources, you know. But we're for sure gonna have to adapt, because we're not in control, right? Okay, oh my gosh, this is kind of beautiful so far. Okay. All right, so at the bottom we have the Seven of Pentacles, which I feel like this came out at the bottom of the deck from yesterday's reading. I'm pretty sure. The Seven of Pentacles is like planting seeds for the future. So we're doing that. We're creating a whole new world. And then we have the Artist, the Sun, and the King of Pentacles. So this is interesting, because I was just talking about we have to kind of surrender, but know that there's resources all around us. And that's sort of, I mean, that's the way of the artist, you know. Like that's how the artist walks through the world, you know. And it's just like in this state of flow, you know. And that's where we need to be to like walk through this moment. And it's like if we can do that, then, you know, there is this sun, you know. It's abundance, fertility, happiness, everything that we would want. It's like there, you know. And we have the King of Pentacles, which this is financially stable, grounded, you know, patriarch. So it's just sort of like the abundant universe will provide if we can like tap into its resources. They're here, you know. There's a stable foundation that can grow out of this, but we have to be in flow, and we have to surrender. And it's just sort of like, you know, before our modern world, where we've created this man-made reality. I mean, that's how everyone had to live, you know. And so it's just like kind of going back to nature in a certain sense, you know. And maybe, I mean, a lot of people are saying this, like in the collective consciousness, that like, you know, these natural disasters happen for a reason, you know. And it is causing everyone to like reevaluate things and like how we're connected to the world. And maybe we've like lost our way in a certain sense. And this is a reminder, you know. I'm going to pull 6 cards from the White Sage Tarot, which is my beautiful Minneapolis deck with the most beautiful artwork. So yeah, just a couple cards from here. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's kind of cool how they've like been coming out sort of matching in this beautiful way. Okay. All right, so at the bottom we have this Two of Wands. So we're kind of at this crossroads, like we have to make some decisions. We have the Five of Wands, the Seven of Cups, and the Hangman. So, you know, right now it's just like, this is a card of like conflict and chaos, which, you know, I think we're kind of all in that, you know, because it's just like things are pretty chaotic and up in the air. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which is a card of confusion. So there's like chaos and conflict, you know, because obviously this is really an unsettling time. And then we have the Hangman, this little caterpillar, which this is like little caterpillar's kind of on a spiritual quest and is like taking a step back. And it's just like looking inward for answers. And, you know, it's kind of in hibernation a little bit. So it's just sort of like, yeah, it's like there's chaos and conflict all around. But like, we kind of have to surrender to this moment. And like, instead of like, engaging in this chaos and conflict, like it might be the best to just, you know, take a moment, you know. And I think we're all being encouraged to do that, obviously, because a lot of people aren't working or they're not in school. I mean, that's kind of going around. Then we have the Five of Cups, which is a card of loss, you know. And, you know, there's, in the traditional, there's like 3 cups spilled and there's 2 cups remaining, you know. So there is actually, you know, an opportunity, but you might not be seeing it if you're like focused on the loss. So it's just like interesting because we have this Five of Wands, this conflict, and we have this loss, and then that comes right under the Artist, which is like stay in your flow. Like we can move through this energy, but don't get stuck in it, you know. And then we have the Ace of Wands, where it's like right under this actual ultimate fulfillment of the Sun card, you know. And so it's just like, it's very confusing, and there's all these different options, but we're gonna have this clear inspiration, you know, this new idea for how we're gonna move forward. And then under the Emperor, or the King of Pentacles and the Caterpillar, it's like, you know, to reach this like stability and this, it's like if you want to get there, you know, it's like take a moment, like step back from the chaos and the conflict, and like get control of like your emotional realm, you know, because if you can like bring that into focus, like that's what the King of Wands does. Like he like has like a really powerful manifestation, you know, like he can focus his energy and like manifest what his desire is in the 3-dimensional world, you know, because he's kind of come in command of himself, you know, which was a lot of like kind of how the reading was yesterday too. So, okay, I'm going to pull 3 more cards from Ethereal Visions because get some guidance for how we're going to move through this energy. But I feel like that message has been coming through real strong this week, that it's just like, don't get bogged down in the chaos, you know, because like obviously that's happening all around, but like really, if you want to be in your power, like, you know, you got to surrender to the moment, but also like focus your energy and be in command of your emotions, because that's how we're going to flow through this. Okay. All right, so we've got the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, And we have the Queen of Cups. So it's just like there's like chaos and conflict, and there's loss. And we might have to like cut through a lot of, crap. Like there's like some harsh truths that we have to like come into alignment with and flow with, so it's just like these harsh truths, which are like harsh, but like at the same time, like don't lock down, like you gotta stay in your flow, but you also have to have reverence for it and surrender to the things that are outside of your control. So it's like kind of a tale of two cities, because it's just like to put both of those things together. But then, we have this new inspiration, this new spark, that's going to lead us here. So we've got the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands, so this is a passionate, fiery new start, that's going to cut through all this confusion. And that's going to lead us there, And then we have the Queen of Cups. It's like a nurturing, loving queen who, like, is balanced here, and that was kind of the message here, where it's just sort of like we have control of this, and that's the path that's going to lead us to stability and abundance here. So yeah, I feel like this message has been it's just like getting hit over the head with this message, and it's been being delivered this week in like lots of different ways from lots of different decks and lots of different cards, but it's kind of the same message that keeps coming over and over again, like, and it's just like we're more powerful than we realize, and we have the power to like create the outcome that we desire, but we have to like be intentional, and we have to be in command of our emotional realm. Like that's where it's at. Okay. Oop. All right. Deep cellular healing. Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Interesting. This really goes along with yesterday's reading, Welcome to the Jungle, and the Healing Deep Wounds reading. And it was just sort of like how we're going to be in command of our heart center and our emotional realm is by doing that work on ourselves. And that's kind of what this card is saying. So again, the same message, like in different ways. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. So yeah, that's like all talking about, it's like we've all come out of alignment. And so in a way, like the collective world is just sort of like, okay, we're trying to get back to our center. If you're suffering from a mystery or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in a practical way, to promote your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding and care you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up with your body or your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to effervescence and vitality, to find calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. So, everything happens for a reason.